Hello and welcome to a new Scrawlrbox video. Today I've got this Scrawlrbox, but it isn't the normal monthly Scrawlrbox. It's an older Scrawlrbox I bought for £5. So some of the older ones, they're actually discounted on the Scrawlrbox website. So I got this one. I thought I couldn't resist it. It was an absolute bargain. And I do have a lot of the Scrawlrboxes, but not all of them. So I didn't have this one. Pretty sure I don't have this one. I don't think I do. Right, so the paint markers by Edding. So there's a black, so they're acrylic paint markers, a lovely teal colour, a pink and a yellow. I'm just looking for the actual colour names. Oh yeah, traffic yellow, telemagenta, opulent turquoise and black. So that's the main art supply. And there's also a Unipaint Chisel 2.0 pen. So chisel tip. And that's in black. There's also a Staedtler Norris School HP pencil. So that's just an ordinary graphite pencil. We've got a little packet of Mentos, mini Mentos, strawberry flavour. The Scrawlrbox sticker. And so this is back when you used to get a little card with all the art supplies on. And the challenge for this box is Chaos Confined. So this was from December 22. So it's over a year ago. We've got the Scrawlzine. Beautiful art print by Mr. Phil. Really nice. And 10 sheets of white card in this pad. So that's A5 white card, smooth. So it's nice and smooth for the paint markers. Look at the Scrawlzine. We've got all the art supplies and all the details about the art supplies. An interview with the artist, Mr. Phil. Some more of his artwork, which is really lovely. Really, really nice. Some Scrawler tips on these acrylic markers. Scrawler gallery of some artwork from the October 2022 Scrawlrbox, and those looks like those were some Yono pens. Yeah, really, really nice. I wonder if those were paint markers as well. It looks like paint markers. Anything with a cat on. Oh, I just love cat artwork. Some information about digital art. There's a QR code here, so that takes you to, I'm presuming, a video to watch the featured artist Mr. Phil in digital action. So I'm going to get them swatched out and try and make some artwork with them. By the way, if you go to the Scrawlrbox website, they are still selling these boxes for £5. And I think there's another one for £5. And then there's some other boxes reduced to £8. There's just a few bargains on there. Give them a good shake. They seem like really nice, high quality paint markers. They look like they're really opaque. Because I have tried some paint markers that are like kind of cheapy ones. Sometimes they can be shiny and glossy, whereas these look quite matte, like the Posca paint markers. Yeah, they're really nice and opaque. The pen itself as well feels like a good quality pen. And then we've got the little chisel tip Unipaint pen. Nice. I wouldn't say it's the juiciest of pens, to be honest. Oh, there we go. If you press a bit harder, you get a thicker line. I And then the pencil. Yeah, nice pencil, nice high quality from a good brand, Staedtler. I do have a few more of these Edding paint markers in various different sizes, and I got these from other subscription boxes as well. Don't think I got these in a Scrawlrbox. I think it was Upgrade. So there's this massive yellow one here, and I think it's like a thick, like kind of a 3D acrylic paint. And then a black one which I haven't used. That's a large chisel tip. This is the thick one. It's got like a soft barrel, so you can squeeze the paint out. So you can see it's like it's a proper thick paint. I don't think I pulled the top off properly there. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, you can squeeze it out like this. So it's 3-dimensional, so that's nice. Yeah, I think they're really good quality, these Edding brand. The paint markers that I bought myself are Posca's, but I would definitely consider buying these. I've got that one, which I think is the same colour as this. Yeah, so I've got two of the same colour, which is good because that's a beautiful colour, opulent turquoise. And then I've got this one, which is pastel green. This one does not seem as juicy as the other ones. It's maybe just because it's pale colour. And then I've got these two smaller ones. So there's a white one and a neon pink. Okay, so I might use all of these colours for my picture, so it'll give me more of a variety. But if there's any other colours that I need, I will also use some Poscas or something, because I've got quite a lot of colours in those ones. Okay, so after making a few pictures with these pens, I've come to the conclusion that they're just a little bit on the dry side. You can't get a lot of paint out of them. They don't flow brilliant. Also, because you can't pump out like a little puddle of paint, it was almost impossible to mix new colours with them. I tried to mix a deeper green, but I was only able to get a tiny bit of paint on the palette. So I ended up having to get the Poscas out because they work really well. As you can see here, I've used some of the Posca paint, put that down first, so the page is nice and wet, and then I could go in with the yellow Edding pen and blend some of that yellow into the already wet paint, because the Posca paint also stays wet for a lot longer. I found the Edding, it just dried up really quick, and then the nib was drying up, and I kept having to pump the nib over and over again to get the flow going again. Just don't have that problem with the Poscas. I think out of all these paint pens, the Poscas are the best. I have got a few different brands, so I'm gonna do a little demonstration of the different brands of paint pens. I'll do that at the end of this video. And I know it's kind of defeating the object of using paint pens if you're gonna pump the paint out and then paint it on with a paintbrush, but I was only really doing that because I didn't have the colour that I needed, and I was doing it to mix new colours. Because the Poscas flow so well, you can also mix them directly on the page as well, so they're just really, really good, the Poscas. I just don't think you can beat them. If you look here, those little black trays, the right hand side was Posca, so it also dries very matte as well. And if you look at the left hand, it's quite shiny. That was the Edding pen. I did find that actually the pink Edding pen and the black one did have a lot more paint flow. I still couldn't really get a puddle of paint out onto the palette, but they seemed a lot juicier when I was just kind of drawing with them. So I think they're just inconsistent. Some of them are drier than others, whereas the Poscas, they're just all of them flow really well. You maybe get the odd one dry Posca, but that could be, I think I've only ever found one, and maybe because it's running out of ink possibly, but generally the Poscas just flow brilliantly. Yeah, so I did have high hopes for these pens because the pen itself, it feels like a really good quality pen, and when I was testing them out, just doing the swatches, they seemed fine, but they seemed to just let out that little bit of paint quite well at first, and then it just like starts drying up really quick. It's maybe the formula of the paint, it just dries fast. But they are good for like mark making, so all like little dots and lines, yeah, kind of like line work. If you stick to the end of the video, I'll show you where I'm just doing some kind of line art with them, and they're absolutely fine for that, but not really any good for painting larger areas. And if you can see here, I'm using a tiny little posca, like the smallest one, just to do the black line work, because I tried that chisel pen and I don't really like it. I'm just complaining about all the products in this box, but it was an absolute bargain at £5. Yeah, I don't like that chisel pen really. I find it hard to get like a solid line, because you've got to get it like perfectly on the right angle. Anyhow, here I've got the other paint pens. I've got some Molitor ones and a few of these Amsterdam ones. I've also got one of these Graph Master, it's called, in a green, and one Liquitex in a green. These are just oddments that I've got in subscription boxes in the past. So here's the Unipin chisel tip pen, which it just writes awful. I mean, maybe there's an actor using it, but it's like, can you see how I'm going over it there, because it's starting off like on the thin end, and then if you turn the pen slightly it goes thick, but it's really hard to control. It's just hard to control. So this is the Amsterdam pens. So I'm testing them, how the paint pumps out when you pump it, and yet with these ones you can get a little puddle of paint, so that's good. The Molitor ones, the flow isn't bad on them, but it isn't great either. I've struggled with these. I've been trying to do a picture with these a couple of weeks back, and nigh on impossible to pump a little bead of paint out, because sometimes you just need that little bead if you want to cover a larger area. The Liquitex, that one pumps out absolutely brilliantly, and then the Graph Master isn't bad. You can get a little bit out when you pump it. It's not nowhere near as fast flowing as the Poscas and that Liquitex one, but yeah, the Graph Master one was okay. So I'll just leave those to dry, and then I'm going to show you how the Edding ones are good at mark making. So I've just got this book here just for ideas of doing like line work patterns, and I found like just using them like this, I didn't need to pump them. It did flow enough, just to use them like this. So that was absolutely fine. So I mean, it's not all bad. At least I've got more colours to make paint pen collection, and I can use these ones just for like making marks and lines, maybe on top of other things. It's just that the artwork in the Scrawlrbox itself, I'm doing one of these pictures that was on the magazine cover, and you can see how difficult it is to make blocks of colour. I just keep having to pump it, and it keeps drying up and getting streaky, and then you have to keep pumping it again. But this is the pink one, it wasn't as bad. The pink one did flow a lot better. Yeah, so I decided to just have a little go at doing the same picture that was on the magazine cover, but just add my own little spin on it, just adding some coloured dots. I did just use the Edding ones for this particular picture, except for some of the dots. I used some other colours. I used Poscas basically to get the paint out for the dots. And also, problem with the paper, I mean, washi tape was just tearing the paper up, so the paper wasn't great. So I just feel as though I'm just totally being negative about all the products in this box. But I'm not disappointed with the box, even though there's a few problems with them, because I still will be able to use these pens for other things, and I had loads of fun. So That's what's important at the end of the day. So this is the other ones dried. So that's the Amsterdam ones. They've dried nice kind of pastel colours. The Molitor ones, yeah, I mean, they're okay, it dries nice and matte, but the Liquitex actually dried quite shiny, which I don't really like it when it dries shiny. The Graphmaster was really matte drying. So the Graphmaster was quite good actually because it flowed quite well and it dried in a nice matte finish. If you can see there, the Posca's got like loads of little cracks in it, and that's because the Posca flows out so well when you press the nib. I should have done it on a palette because I ended up with massive blobs of paint and there was so much it dried all like kind of cracked because there was too much on there. But this is some of the things that I did with the Edding ones, just, you know, decorating things, adding little dots. And then there was the 3-dimensional one as well, the one that I already had. You could see there what it looked like dry. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. This is the artwork that I made with this box. Like I say, I'm glad I bought it, and the last time I looked there was still on sale, these boxes. So if you want to get one, head over to the Scrawlrbox website.